Generation Dan. I'm one of your three hosts, Dean the Genetic Marvel, your Gen Xer for the evening. Who else is with me?
I'm Atlas Novak. I'm your millennial, and I have been farting into chairs all day.
That's not right. It's not right, man.
You took my thing, which is my one-liners. I'm Cole Clayton, by the way. I say the funny thing. That's my thing.
Gotta keep you on your toes, man.
Like, realistically, I've been saying the joke recently where I tell people, I'm like, listen, there's a lot of people that I've realized that are walking around with a fart in the chamber, and you're like, you're a bad person if you do that. Like, if you try and sync that up, you're a bad person. You need to, change your ways. Anyways, welcome to Generation Dan, everyone. With us today is our guest, Jimmy Shin. Hi, Jimmy. Welcome.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. Jimmy here has a special on Amazon Prime called Walk of Shame, WOK, not the other way.
Yes. Which is genius. Like, let's be honest. Like, that's good job.
Perfect.
Which today it should be the other way because we're going to be talking about sex.
My favorite category.
Depends. It really does depend.
I don't know. Like, what's how many times has sex ended up becoming like getting food after? So it's not completely off kilter, right?
I feel like
That's why I
both
got
work.
fat.
Right? Yeah.
That's why I got fat in the first place. It's like because you would get food to have the sex. You would take the girl out to dinner or buy a pizza or whatever, have sex, and then be like, "You want a sandwich after? No, I'm hungry. What you got in the fridge?"
Yeah, you work up a sweat and then just immediately undo all the calories you burned. Yeah.
You've now eaten twice in like
it sounds like
45 minutes.
Sounds like you sleep with other men.
There have been a few. They're questionable for sure.
What if you ask that question to a girl after sex? You want to get a sandwich after?
Hey, when you know you didn't perform, you're like, hey, can I at least make it up to you with a steak?
Yeah.
Maybe like a fresh taco. We'll do that. Like,
Philly, cheesesteak.
Look, I may be terrible at eating pussy, but I am good at eating tacos, which kind of look like pussy anyway. So how about we do
Well, I eat ass. That's my thing. So, like, I need something else in my mouth. I need a different flavor.
Do you need a palate cleanser?
Can you imagine being known as the guy who can't eat tacos properly? So every girl's like, oh, that guy, just watch me to taco. You're like, never. No one will date him. He eats tacos horribly. Like, I feel like that's a thing. That's definitely something we could definitely do.
You open it up.
And then you scrape it?
With your tongue, of course.
I guess this is a bad time to bring up the pussy eating guide my friend wrote me in middle school.
I remember you telling me about that, actually.
No, it was high school, and it was by a girl, so I know that was, like, kind of accurate, at least.
I don't know, because, like, what high school anybody, man or woman, really knows what's going on just yet? You know what I mean? Like, that sounds...
Hold on.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you overheard young people say stuff where you're
try not to catch felonies? So,
Tiki, hey Gino, hey, what's up, Tiki? And Serge, hey, how's it going? No, but like, just even when I was young, like you would hear people be like, I ate so much pussy, and you're like, what are you talking about? You don't even know what's in your pants, you loser. Like that was that was a huge...
Teenagers are the biggest liars on earth. They're like, I own 4 houses.
Oh yeah, no, I finished Tinder, man. What are you talking about? You're like, what are you talking about? That's...
Jimmy, do you have any like younger cousins or people like that in your life where you just gotta be like, really? Come on, man.
Are you asking me?
Yes. I said, do you have any younger cousins?
Not necessarily younger cousins, but definitely friends that have a tendency for hyperbole, in the area of sex.
Right.
It's worse when it's an adult, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it ever changes.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I have a nephew who's only I think 4 years younger than I am, right? So we have a lot of the same history, just time-wise and everything. But then like he's also single now, and I'm like, hey, what's going? He's like, it's crazy out there. And I'm like, that doesn't seem safe. I'm like, I could not handle that. I'm like, I would just No. If anything happened to my wife, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm done. That's fine. I'm retiring from everything. Just I'm gonna go live in a cave.
I don't know.
I'm not having a good time.
Generation, it's just a whole different way to date, right? Like I don't know about you guys, but when I was a kid, we didn't have online dating. We didn't have apps. We actually went up and talked to girls.
Yeah.
And we had to open girls, and we had to ask them out on a date.
You cannot do that nowadays.
Which is you're a psychopath. If you do that now, you're a psychopath.
Yeah. You might be going to jail.
You will be in front of a judge by Monday.
Look, number one is you doing that, you're a murderer. Number two, the person that you find, that's definitely a trap because no one would agree to it. Like not one person.
They're
like,
also
hey, how are
a
you?
murderer.
Like, get the fuck away from me, murderer. Just absolutely not. Holy crap. Serge has been so.
We got married, Atlas?
No,
Say that again?
You recently got married?
Not married. I proposed to my girlfriend back on Friday.
Oh, wow.
We're recording this on the Sunday. Yeah.
Okay.
Did
you guys already engage in premarital sex?
Yes. The way you
just out him like that, Jimmy. Oh my god.
The way you said
sure?
It,
the way you
I'm
said
here
it
to put you guys on the spot. That's all.
Well, no, the way he said it was like, "Have you engaged in?" You made it sound like a prescription ad. Have you engaged in premarital sex with?
Well, I do.
Made it sound like he's your local pastor.
Background.
That's
so. On the evening of question per se.
Yeah.
Did you engage? In
premarital sex.
Out of anybody here who would have saved themselves for marriage, I would have had Atlas pegged. I'm sorry, Atlas.
That's true. I am a huge nerd.
Well, you know what? Back in the day, that's what you guys did. I think even before my time, right?
Yeah.
What is your time?
Wasn't a regular thing.
I saved myself for marriage. Okay. And that was my first wedding was in the early 2000s. So it was already a weird thing where people were like, really? Wow. That's got to be tough. Like it was already.
What made you decide to make that decision for yourself?
It was our religious upbringing. Was mostly that was the big thing, but also too like it was a weird. It was like, so my dad had 3 kids and then he went back to Greece with my mom and the 3 kids and then came back to Canada. And then they were like, I think we're going to stay this time, and had 2 more kids. So there's like a 10-year gap between the 2 sets of kids, but it's all one big family. Right. So it was kind of a weirder time when I came about. So resulting in a lot more.
What does any of that have to do with your sexuality?
Because the way we were raised it was important to be like to take a stand for morals and things like that. That was an important thing when I was young. And
the Sopranos were leading HBO at the time.
And
that's a weird way to document history.
I know how society was. I watch TV.
I'm getting a headache right now.
Okay, to be fair, I do a joke on stage where I say that my parents were in divorce court for longer than The West Wing was on the air. So fair.
It's fair. That's like it was a weird. Remember, you got to understand. Like, did you guys watch Straight Outta Compton, which is a fantastic movie?
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Movie.
So, like that line where he's like, people were buying CDs and breaking them, like burning them in the streets, right? Yeah. And he would come out and be like, hey man, if they already paid for them, I don't really care. And the fact is, like, I remember somebody had mentioned that, like that people were doing that. And my dad was like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Why would you buy something and then destroy it? Just don't buy it, you idiot. Right. So it was.
I think that happened with like Elvis's manager. He made like Elvis pins, and then he made like Elvis sucks pins and sold those too.
Yeah.
Or some shit. Yeah.
That's genius. I'm doing that.
Guy, you have to, if you're selling merch after a show, make sure there's someone else is selling anti-merch of you and be like, listen, we'll split it, right? Like
Mikey McKiernan, who's an LA comic, he has like it says Mikey McKiernan is not funny, and he like sticks it up around LA.
That seems reasonable.
And it seems to work for him. So yeah.
Well, there's nothing better than watching someone fail, right? So even if you expect him to not be funny and then he is funny, you're like, I have the satisfaction that he failed what he claimed, but then also I got to laugh. It's a win-win for him. This is very intelligent.
It's like watching Elon Musk buy Twitter. It's like so
It's
funny.
more like watching every liberal Democrat in all of the United States lose their mind during this period. It's hilarious. Come on, you can't. People are like, he's gonna take away free speech. What? Number one, what are you guys talking about? None of that has to do with free speech anyway. It's absolutely ridiculous and hilarious. I'm looking forward to this weekend. All the results of this elections are going to be so much content. So much content.
You're in Canada. You don't have to like be.
I know.
In the...
I could just watch it burn, and then I can
okay.
call up an ambulance and be like, "Come check me out. Maybe I'm fat and something has happened." They're like, "Free healthcare. We're coming." Yeah. It's great.
See, I live in Ohio, which is a swing state, so you get to see everything happen in real time. It's fucking awesome.
The first
especially for somebody who doesn't vote, you get to see both sides just kind of at each other's throats. It's fucking awesome. I love it every second of every day.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about this topic, but first we got some questions for Jimmy. So, starting off here, what is an embarrassing song from your playlist?
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys.
I Want It That Way.
Oh, yeah.
As you should, classic. Sir. That's a fantastic song.
Yeah.
Not embarrassing. Not embarrassing at all.
Have you seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yes. Okay.
That is the greatest
you haven't seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
ever in television.
Yeah. Jimmy, have you seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I have not.
Okay, so there's a scene where he's a cop and he makes the police lineup sing "I Want It That Way" because the perpetrator was singing along to it.
Yeah,
when he was murdering,
but she couldn't see him.
And
that's awesome.
It's great. I'll send it to you after. It's amazing.
Okay,
that's awesome. He makes all of he makes the entire lineup like sing along together.
Yeah,
so they can figure out who murdered the guy.
I think the funniest part for me is there's like a thing where they've got a guy down there and he's like explaining exactly what happened, and then the guy like protests where he's like, "I did it for love," and he's like, "Cool motive, still murder," and then just keeps talking. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
It is a great show.
Yeah. One downside to I Want It That Way is there's no like couple of notes where it's I Want It That Way if you're in the car with someone else that you can switch it before they go, is that I Want It That Way?
It's just,
you know what I mean?
Like, just immediately, like it's
some kind of like
on your Spotify
that can like tip you off because like if it's an embarrassing song that comes on and you want to skip it before the other person like figures out what's going on. Example, I have two versions of Gimme 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 A Man After Midnight by ABBA, neither of which are by the actual band. It's two different covers of it. But for both of them, there's like a thing like for the Mamma Mia with Amanda Seyfried version, there's like a guitar riff at the beginning that's like not the actual notes of the song. So that just sounds like any other guitar riff. And then the other one is like a bell tolling, and then you can just skip it before someone goes, "What the fuck are you listening to?"
Listen? I'll be honest with you. I just felt the whole time that I was supposed to just play.
Shit in my pants. I have shit in my pants right now. Yeah,
feel like
that was.
It was a runaway.
Yeah.
I just can't.
No, that's not the reality for I Want It That Way. Just you are fuck. Like.
God damn it.
In case anyone needed, I did put the link in the comments for everything. There we go. So apparently trolls are out and they're messing with shows. Wonderful. Let's go on to the next question, as that one was not embarrassing at all, Jimmy. You were not embarrassing enough, sir.
There was a point where it was embarrassing, and then it got popular again. I don't know. Like it was very weird.
Because enough time had passed, right? Where like the boy band hate had died down. It's been a while. People
are like, they actually make good music. Actually, you know what?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is then listen, men start to realize, oh, girls love music. Oh, then men love music. It's a horrible, pathetic, stupid thing that men do when they go, oh, girls like that? Oh, I know all about that. And you're like, oh God,
That's the one thing that I like about dismantling toxic masculinity is I can finally listen to all the girly shit I want and it doesn't matter. It's great.
I never had
It
a
doesn't
problem
count for
with
you, Atlas. Those are rules for everybody else, not you. Okay.
Thanks. Appreciate
Just
it.
so you know,
I have been
toxic masculinity is
screaming.
still alive and well in your life.
I have been screaming Barbie girl at the top of my lungs since I was like 15. I don't give a shit.
That is
Bro.
wonderful.
Hey. Listen, I remember I was 16, maybe 17. We went to the local shopping mall because Aqua was going to be there and they performed, okay? I went with 3 dudes, ran into like 19 women I knew. It was a great day, okay? One guy got a signature and I was like, all right. And they're like, hey, do you want to get a signature? I'm like, no, I'm just here for a good time. It was great. Fantastic. Kidding me? It's genius. Anyways.
I randomly want to listen to Mambo number 5 while we're talking about 90s shit right now. All right. Let's ask him a second question, which is what is the thing you like to do because you're an adult and no one can stop you anymore?
I like to sleep till noon.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Classic.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah, and a lot of people like still try to test it. You know, they try to call me at 10:30 or 9. No, I'm sleeping in. I got my phone off.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it. And main reason is I work till late, you know, because I'm a stand-up comedian. And so it works for me, you know. I got to get my 8 hours.
That's not unreasonable.
Yeah.
What is your like? Does your circadian rhythm kind of like get you up around then, or does it like you get up at like 10:30?
Yeah, my rhythm is completely that schedule now.
That's great, isn't it? Just to be able to just get up, like when it, like you're just, I'm awake now, you know, instead of a fucking alarm.
Yeah,
Well,
during the pandemic, that's another thing I did for myself is I just slept, didn't set an alarm, and whenever I got up, I got up, and so I managed to get through the whole pandemic without ever getting sick.
That's awesome.
Jesus, holy shit!
Yeah,
I got sick 3 times during the pandemic. This is bullshit.
It's a great part of weekends.
It's because you're out there eating ass all day. What do you expect to happen?
I'm convinced that's how it spread in the first place.
Cole never got COVID, but he's had E. coli like 7 times during the pandemic. Like,
goddamn Taco Bell and ass eating contests.
So basically, you can play that "I shit my pants" clip, and then Cole's like that meme of the black guy like going like this.
Pretty much, like every time. That seems reasonable. Come on, that seems fair.
All right.
No, listen. Hey, being able to sleep later on in the day is one thing. Like I remember when I was first starting, I used to be a real person, Jimmy. I was a financial planner at a bank. And when I was still a few years in, like there was a huge snowstorm. I left like 3 hours early from my house, got to work on time, just on time. The person who was training me came in half an hour later, was like, oh yeah, I wasn't going to sit in traffic for 3 hours. That's stupid. I'm like, why would I bother with that? I was like, oh, so that was just a waste of 3 hours. She's like, that's correct. Get your sleep. Don't be stupid. I was like, oh, thanks. Good to know. All right.
It's really stupid how in society we've gotten out of the caves, right? We've become a society, and yet we still have these loud fucking noises waking us up out of our sleep. Like, oh my god, what is it? You know what I mean? It's fucking retarded. I hate it so much.
It an alarm, right? It's you wake up to an alarm. Yeah. Why can't we wake up to like I don't know, like beautiful music or
to bacon? You know, like
yeah.
What do you guys have as your alarm clock?
Nothing.
An alarm.
My phone.
No. I stopped. Hey,
but I mean specifically, what's the thing? Is it just like man, like
beep,
whatever T-Mobile gives me?
I think 3 phones ago, I selected everyone to have a personalized ring with a picture. I had special alarms for specific things in my calendar. Now it's all whatever standard. I don't care. It's just I'm not doing that on another phone. That was too much work.
Ringtones went out the door back in like 2009. So
yeah, because no one wants to answer the phone anymore, which I do kind of miss, but I get it. What I have as my alarm is it's a Rush album, and it picks a different track every day. So it's not like the thing where it can become part of your dream or whatever, because it's a different song every day. The problem is
you're
that
a Rush fan?
I am a huge Rush fan.
You don't hate their music yet?
Hold on. That's on the bingo card.
Wait, is it? Is it on the bingo card?
You talking
Did I
about
put-
Rush? For
I
sure.
think so. Okay, sorry. What did you say, Jimmy?
I said that explains a lot.
It does, yeah.
Right?
But the problem is, if it's something like, I don't know, The Camera Eye or Witch Hunt, it's like really quiet at the beginning. Whereas if it's YYZ, it's ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, oh shit, because it's gonna go dan, 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 like it's gonna go off the like just blow your ears out.
It is not, but it should be on the bingo card.
I
Sorry,
should
Jimmy.
put it on the
We made a
card.
bingo card earlier for someone falls over laughing.
Oh.
Cole talks about messing with his son, which always has. Dino talks about taking edibles, which I just did. Someone insinuates
That's
Atlas
on
is gay,
that's
also
on
true.
it for today. Someone did it, so
Yeah, that's also true. Guess embarrassing song is from the last 10 years. Atlas talks about his boomer parents. Yeah, like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
someone's already won today. But we should really make a prize for that as well.
The messing with my kid thing is funny too because I did a TikTok today where he's just screaming at me in the background and it's just me saying I don't give a fuck like he's like it's because he's screaming at me because he's trying to watch TV and I'm just in blocking his vision and it's my phone's loud.
It just seems reasonable at some point.
Sniffing Glue 22 on all platforms.
Why do I just smoke some weed when I'm on this podcast?
That's not a horrible
he's high
idea.
literally every time we record it. So
Yeah.
Alright.
Well,
I'm
and
getting
Cole is
contact.
notorious.
Zoom.
Cole is notorious for bringing out a White Claw mid stream. So
Yeah, I ran out a minute ago, so
there was the thing. Okay, so yesterday, Katie's my fiance, Jimmy.
already
I
we're
didn't-
using fiance. All right,
I
Adam.
didn't,
I
I didn't
say,
even
I
know
wanted
her
to
name.
say.
Wow.
Hey,
Maybe the
fancy
dingo
pants.
ate your baby. Yeah. So she she was mad at her mom because yesterday she called her mom to like talk about wedding planning stuff,
Of
and
course.
then her mom went, "I'm so high right now," and just hung up the phone.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is so funny to me that your parents are just like, dude, I am toasted right now.
Faked.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
But realistically, at what point do you think that's at what age do you think, like, for me, never. I would never hang out with my dad and have like, hey, let's get plastered. That on any circumstances would not happen. Do you guys feel like at some point, like, you're like, oh yeah, that would be totally a normal thing?
I don't know, because my stepdad just stole my mom's car back in April and sold it for crack. So, like,
Jesus
this is
Christ.
100% a real story. So, like,
He
weed,
took
a
off
little
his
weed,
headphones.
nothing.
What the hell? Kind of. You know what? Earlier today,
My mom's an asshole. Let's put it like that.
let's be honest.
It was my
Earlier
mom's
today,
fault, 100% too.
Cole was like, I feel like I should try and record a reality TV show of my parents, of my mom, just because I feel like it would be worth it. And we're all like, are you sure? That may be a little grandiose, bro. Now I'm like, bro, we need multi-camera. We need runners. We need guys who can run with the setup and
I don't know. I feel like if you told 15-year-old me that my dad would just be like getting weed gummies and offering to give me some like for Christmas or whatever, his head would explode. What were your parents' views on like drugs when you were growing up?
Well,
Jimmy.
first of all, my dad calls weed happy smoke, but in the same sentence tells me never to do happy smoke.
Yeah.
He
ever caught
doesn't
him?
want me to be happy or
He
smoke.
doesn't want you to be happy.
That's a
sounds
good
like.
dad, though. That's a good dad.
See myself smoking with my dad.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want me to be happy.
Oh, okay.
That's a good dad, though. He's like, no happiness for men.
No happy smoke you.
Just I've been. I want to dose my in-laws, but my wife won't let me.
My mom told me that, or all of us really, because there's 6 of us in total.
Yeah.
She has 6 kids. She told every one of us that weed was a gateway drug. Blah 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 blah. The whole time she was fucking doing blow. I come to find out, and not only that, but we're all fucking stoners. Like
Yeah.
I'm probably an alcoholic. I haven't decided yet. So like, fuck her.
Meetings
DARE
are commitment.
program was a massive failure. Yeah.
Come on.
No, I remember that all that DARE stuff in school, and just being like, what was funny is that I went to a middle and early high school where like it was a stoner school. Like you had teachers that were visibly high in class.
For real?
Yeah. To those who have heard of a school called Crossroads, a lot of the teachers are maybe not smoking the ganja, but they're taking an edible on like the drive over, you know.
That's a
Yeah.
good thing, Serge.
That is a good way to do it. All right,
What's
then.
up to you, Aldridge?
All right, why don't we ask Jimmy his last question before we get into
That
the
seems reasonable.
topic proper, which is
What does it mean I'm an adult?
what was the first time you either felt like an adult or people looked at to you as the adult in the room?
When I went to the arcade with my girlfriend, and when I was getting the card to go play the games, the guy called me sir.
Okay.
And that's when I realized, wait a minute, there's a huge discrepancy in age here.
Instead of what, kid or whatever?
Yeah, no, instead of just, saying, here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go, sir. Now I'm a sir.
I've felt that pain before. Yeah, that one hurts. That was, sir, you're like,
I never knew that I was a sir, so.
How come there's no like thing for unmarried versus, because like miss is for if you know she's unmarried, and then ma'am is for if you know she's married, but for dudes it's just sir. There's no like distinction.
Well, for women it's
it's called happy smoke. That's what it is. That guy looks like
I'm with you on
for
that
dudes
too,
it's happy
Atlas.
smoke. Yeah,
because like that implies that women's value is different based off of like their marital status. I've never liked that. Like I know that's weird coming from me.
I know this is the most
the
leftist
biggest-
thing you've said.
Yeah.
coming at Atlas just makes it so much better.
No,
Oh my
it's
God.
amazing. It's amazing. Let him go. Continue. Sorry.
Jesus.
Women are in my mind. I come off like a sexist because I do believe women are equal to men, and so I want them to feel the same rage and pain that I feel every day. So that's what
For
it comes
better
down
or
to.
for
It's my ass kicking outfit, bitch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whoa.
You're a pro ZD fan?
Guy. Oh, that was thrilling. That's let's be honest.
All right. So, premarital sex. What are we thinking?
Well, are we pro or are we con?
Why not?
I have never had sex with a woman I didn't regret. So, and I've also never been married. So I have I've been with a handful of women at this point in my life. I don't want to say like a lot, but like a decent amount.
Is it a Simpsons hand or is it a human hand?
It's double digits. So every one of them, I'm like, God damn it, man. That girl, like they were all hot, but like that was like the only, like that was it. That was all I needed. Like that's the only thing I looked for was that they were pretty. So I'm trying next time.
You got cut off. What did you say?
You heard it here first, people. Cole is looking for an uggo or a fatty to make him an honest man.
I didn't say all that.
That's exactly what he's looking for.
I said I am looking at red flags ahead of time. For once. I'm a Taurus.
You're the red flag.
A bull. I run at the red flags. That's the problem. As a Taurus.
So let's be honest. Okay, so are we pro or are we con? So I did save myself for marriage. Okay, I don't know. I don't know because it definitely gave me a poor view of sex itself. But at the same time, there are a lot of people I know out there who are
the
just
problem
horrors of men. Just
I feel like you're biased because
probably
the way I look at it is you kind of talk shit.
True.
Like you just speak your mind, and I feel like that's not attractive to women. You know what I mean? Especially younger women. So you probably didn't have a lot of options early on. I'm not hating. Because like I've also spoke my mind and I was like, damn, I just lost some pussy. Oh well. So I've been there. I know what that's like.
Yeah, well, I never lived my life looking for pussy. That's never been something like, no. I just assumed I would pay for it or not. I'm like, oh, whatever. And then I got married twice. Who knows?
The rates of like teen pregnancy and just losing your virginity in your teens has been going down over the past few decades.
Not where I'm from, but okay.
I meant like nationwide, right?
I'm from
Yeah.
Houston, for the
But that's-
record, Jimmy.
because of contraceptive and that kind of stuff, right?
Well,
That's
there's that, and then also like the way people are viewing sex is it's less about like
procreation and more about just fun.
no, like they're viewing sex in a more positive light where it's not you're defining yourself by I need to get laid or else I am nothing, right? Like every movie in the fucking 90s and 2000s was like get laid or like get the girl, get laid, that sort of thing. And that's
That is
kind of fallen off.
100% how I get rid of my insecurities.
That makes sense. It's great.
Yeah. I think like were you forced to save yourself for marriage, or was it like
No.
It's like reverse rape. Like,
no.
what does that even mean?
So
No,
there's-
like, where
there were
he's pressured by
opportunities.
his parents, right?
there were opportunities where I could have chosen otherwise, but I stayed true to my principles.
Right.
So
And that's
I
as
just
you
don't
got
understand
older,
the force thing. Like,
a
Well,
we're
principle-
principle is something that is a core value
No, but I
inside
get it
yourself
because
that you
my
live
mom,
by.
like,
told me never
okay.
have sex until you're married. Blah. I did all this. I
Yeah.
didn't care. I still went out and had sex at 15, like a fucking normal human being.
that's
I
an
had
example.
happiness
Purity rings and like
for losers. Purity rings
Yeah.
are for losers.
but shit like that where the culture is baked into like you are not a whole good person if you have sex
Every
before
dude who had a purity ring was balls deep in his girlfriend every night.
you're in her
That's what
armpit
I
if you're
found.
Mormon.
You what? Sorry, say that
Armpit
again. What
cracks.
did you say, Cole?
Every dude who had a purity ring in high school or junior high was balls deep in their girlfriend like every night.
Or someone else's? Yeah.
Well, yeah, or multiple women. Like,
Listen,
I
okay,
never found that a purity ring was bullshit. It was just some weird
Listen,
display of
purity ring
like.
is the same as a promise ring. It is for children and it is complete and utter just foolishness. Okay, so if you think that's your I got a promise ring, just go out, chop your fingers off, just all of them, so no one else can give you rings. 'cause
If your
that's not working.
kid has a fucking purity ring,
What was that
make
band?
sure he gets give
What was
him
that band
condoms.
of brothers that had like purity rings. I think it was like
The Jonas Brothers.
Yeah, what happened to them? I think
They were banging.
Finger bang champs.
They did a
Finger bang
whole-
champs,
yeah.
bro.
No,
banging.
they were banging. They were
Yeah,
fucking
they're-
banging.
proves your point right there.
Yeah.
That everybody that wore purity rings ended up banging.
That was a Disney publicity stunt. That was a different thing entirely, though.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that's listen, and you know what? Like, it's more so. I think that the morality of it, and this was something that I was talking with a close friend at the time. His stepdaughter was kind of at that age, and they kept on having the talk, but it ended up being an argument and everything. And I'm like, hey, let me just take a shot at this being non-parental and just a communicator. That's what I am. I am a wizard of talking. So I just said to her, go, listen, if anyone tells you sex sucks, they're lying. Her mom's like, what the fuck are you saying to my daughter? It's great. And I'm like, listen, it's great. I go, you know what the problem is? That you can't go back. You're innocent. You don't know something, right? So when you open that door, you can never close it again. So what your parents are saying is they don't want you to ruin that experience on something that's unenjoyable or maybe even forced. They would.
So let me ask you this: are you glad you waited until marriage?
You know what?
Or do you wish that you
I got
Sowed some oats.
sowed some oats before you committed?
I don't know. So I'm proud of the person I've become in general. I have made choices that some may have not made in the past, but I can't say that I have regrets. That being said, it's like I definitely don't feel that if I had not made that decision, that I would have ended up at the same place. It would have been definitely different, and I don't know if that would have been positive or negative. I may have been some sort of warlord and or criminal mastermind. You never know, right? And I, for one, would love those.
So
John,
we're leaning at right now is I have all the regrets. Dino has no regrets. Atlas, where are you at?
Yeah, there you go.
I think so. So for my parents, they're doctor, nurse, medical, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a religious thing of how sex was viewed. When I asked my dad where babies came from when I was like 4, he sat my ass down and got a diagram out.
He traumatized you forever.
Yeah, he. I reportedly said I don't want to grow up when he explained everything.
So he did a great job.
Yeah. So when like sex ed came around, like as you start getting older, and like I got in like late elementary, early middle school, it was a thing where like that's part of growing up, and you should do it with someone you have feelings for, but don't feel pressured to save yourself for marriage. And even if you sow your wild oats, so to speak, you can do that shit again with other people who you love more down the line as you grow and turn into a different person. Because it's not a fucking health pack in a video game. You're on your last one. And I know that by doing that, I have regrown my virginity. But
seal back up.
If I was a woman, I'd have a hymen again. But
double.
I'm just saying that, like, because it's something that you can redo and get better at and try new things and discover kinks and things about yourself that you might not have known, as a young adult or a teen, that it's just part of the growing up process. Jim,
let me ask this because I don't meet many people that save themselves for marriage. The first time you did it, was it good, or did you not know what you were doing at all?
Did not know what we were doing, and we laughed afterward. So, and you know what? The one thing that was good was that she was like, she knew it was going to hurt. So she was like,
so she saved herself too.
Oh yeah,
interesting.
Yeah. So
it was people that were bad at sex. Right on.
Yeah. So that took time to kind of
didn't know any different.
No, but that's the whole thing was like there was that learning curve where it was like just trying to figure out how to make things work the best, and also realizing that, hey, you know what, like for her, she realized like it was our wedding night. It's a whole big thing, right? So it was just kind of get it over with, even if it hurts, and then work out the kinks later, right? And it was funny because she even mentioned that later on she was at a kind of a very cozy private bridal shower for a girl, and she explained to the girl, like, because they were like childhood friends too, and they were all virgins, and she was like, hey, the first time, don't worry, it's confusing. And all the girls were like, yes, it is really, you know what, don't feel weird, it is confusing, you'll figure it out, it's okay, so like it was confusing, but it was you just kind of figure it out.
Man, the more people tell me about their lives, the more white trash I realize I am. I lost my virginity to Megan Bonifus, Italian girl, real sweet. She was the neighborhood slut. Everybody called her Boner Face. I didn't find that out till afterwards.
Oh,
but
poor girl.
No, she loved it. It was her favorite thing. Was banging people.
Are we
every day?
Shouldn't we not be name dropping the people we lost our virginities to?
I don't give a shit. Fuck her.
Okay.
Wait.
Luckily, mine has like a generic ass name, Sarah Adams. There's like an 8.
Sarah Adams.
Yeah. Was 19.
She's probably listening right now. The Sarah Adams.
Here's the problem. Sarah is Drew now, so
trans
man. Sarah Adams. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey, it's okay. My baby mama shaved her head last year after we broke up, and everybody kept saying, hey, your baby daddy's here. I was like, fuck you guys.
What did you say, Jimmy?
I said, after having sex with you, she was like, fuck this being a female shit, huh?
Yeah. No.
I got to get me some of that.
I tend to have a problem with, not a problem necessarily, but just like, this just
it's happened more than once.
My best childhood friend, the one who drew me the diagram, the pussy eating diagram, is a trans man. My best friend is non-binary and got top surgery. And one of my best comedian friends is a trans woman. So I just
So
Atlas, I hang out with a lot of trans people, but on purpose or by accident,
Atlas,
it just happens.
I'm gonna need you to hush. Okay. Katie, get the fuck out of there!
Headphones ding.
No!
Good job. Nice try.
I feel like it's an argument now every year between Katie and Atlas. He's like, I want to go by Bob and hide my junk, and she's like, no, you're not doing that. It's not okay.
What the fuck? Transsexuality is not funny, but that's funny. Okay,
it is pretty
Atlas,
funny.
that was pretty fucking jokes, right?
Oh no!
Listen,
that was in my set for like a year when that happened.
Shit.
Oh, bro, we're bringing it back.
No, I dropped it just because it's kind of bad taste because like that's somebody's identity that you're like, it's so bad at sex that,
if anyone was wrong, if anyone was mad originally, they're much madder now.
I mean, I was 19 when that happened, and then like I'm 28 now. It's kind of hacked to do stuff like that.
Holy shit. I don't think I'd be able to.
Jimmy, what was your first time like?
Yeah, Jimmy.
My first time, I didn't even orgasm. Actually, I didn't know that you were supposed to. Yeah, I wore a condom.
What?
And I
That's
went
the
in
worst.
and I didn't even finish because I didn't know that you were supposed to finish. I didn't know what that was.
You never jerked it before that?
No, I never jerked it
For real.
That's fucking. You went from you jumped from A to Z, dude. What the fuck?
How old were you?
He went to pi. He was just warped past the entire alphabet. I was like, give me some
Alpha, beta.
Both of you, shut up. How old were you?
Blazing. I was 14.
14. Wow.
Damn,
He went back to A.
All right,
Yeah,
all right. So junior high or high school?
it was junior high.
Wow, crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, didn't you say you were also at 14?
I was 15. I was a sophomore, so it was early sophomore year.
All right. So that's still pretty young.
The first time
on the bell curve on the
One of my
early.
friends, he said he was betting chicks at 12.
I run into those motherfuckers all the time. Are like, yeah, I was 13. I was 12. I was like, yeah, go fuck yourself. You're a liar still to this day. You're a fucking liar.
I don't think he's lying though.
You can't come at that age. You know what I mean? Like, believe me, I tried cranking them out all the time when I was that age. It's just not a thing. You'd be like, you have vicious boners. You have them, but nothing's happening. You're just like, what's going on?
I don't understand why it took so long to jerk it because like I was 12 the first time it happened and it was entirely by accident. It was because
I've definitely had some wet dreams.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I've never had a wet dream actually.
Yeah, I waited till I saved myself till I was of age.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, you stopped yourself from self-harm. That's important, Jimmy. That's important, okay? You might have been beating yourself up for your entire life if it wasn't for you waiting.
You guys are amazed that I didn't jerk it till 18, and you not amazed at all that Dino waited till he was married to have sex?
Better in the belly of a whore than down on the floor, or whatever the Bible said.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was Jewish.
That's definitely.
Oh, you didn't come
definitely
either.
not in
My
the
bad,
Bible.
Jimmy. My bad, Jimmy. You didn't come, so.
Too much info going on.
I'm going to have nightmares now. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Because
listen, in all honesty, I think the problem is it's kind of like knowledge. That I've the more and more I learn, it's kind of like like a university education or going to war. You're like, being a teenager is just too young for that kind of craziness, like the idea of deciding what you want to be for the rest of your life at the age of 15, 14 years old, then you're like, okay, so now I have to do all these courses. You're going, that's insane. Like that's crazy stuff. So it's like, the problem is people want to live life too fast. It just get it all done. And you're going, that number one, that is not healthy. It's not healthy at all. And like, I'll be honest with you guys, like 14, 15 years old, I think I definitely could have been convinced to have sex, but that would have been horrific on my mental state. Like I can only imagine you two weirdos, like
dude,
just out there.
I was
like, listen,
so horny
it's
at
not,
15. A guy could have had sex with me.
But that's the thing is what like my thing is like you can't go back. Like, what are you gonna go back and jerk off at home? No, you're now a hunter, man. You gotta be part of the hunt every day, looking out for that fucking meat. And you're like, where's that pussy? I gotta find the pussy, right? Like
That's
you can't
exactly
like,
how
you
it
can't
was,
now
too.
say, oh, I want to go back home and watch
Well,
soap
yeah,
operas
you had
and
to
shit.
find the whores because
I-
everybody was a prude in high school.
So
I was more obsessed with.
Were you masturbating though, Dino?
Furiously.
Oh,
Furiously.
you cheater!
You know what? So
Yeah. So if you're
furiously-
masturbating, you're visualizing in your head. So
Yeah.
to me,
Oh.
that's almost as just as
Lust.
real in your mind as
so
it is if you actually did it.
Yeah, there are studies that go both ways, to be honest, and they that they would say
Studies.
like that.
You already
It's
Like
you looked at
science.
studies, yeah.
well, it's yeah. The whole idea is that you can
Jesus
never
approved.
purge yourself of pornography, right? So also to being exposed earlier on in life creates a scenario where things have to escalate significantly before a balance is arrived at for people. So it's kind of there are kind of flaws
Actually,
on
there
both
is something
sides.
to that. My
Yeah.
friend who started sleeping with girls at 12, he is now like a really bad sex addict.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and like this is the
There's
thing, man.
something to that.
It's and that's the weird part is, like I really feel that a lot of people need to jerk off more just for their daily existence. Like, just I'm not saying they need to get laid more. I just think they need to actively jerk off more, just because people make really crazy decisions where you're like, that is like,
Let the steam out of the pipe, so to speak. Yeah.
listen, a post nut clarity is a godsend for like times of war and things like that. Like, I think those are like you can't just walk out with a loaded gun and be like, let's see what happens, You're
Well,
just gonna swing it around on a finger. Like,
that's kind of what I wanted to get at earlier when we were talking about dating, the dating scene, how it's changed so much. Is like, oh, what if your opinion of people need to get laid more often is fine and dandy, but this era of women, you cannot let them know that you like them. You have to just remain.
Yeah,
Get the
that's
fuck out of my face.
that's
Wait,
a
wait.
little.
She will suck your dick right then and there if you just keep pretending that you hate her as a human being. For
Yeah,
whatever reason, I don't like it at all. Go ahead,
I
Alex.
didn't like it growing up either. My dad, because like I was more obsessed with less the idea of having sex and more about at the time, just being in a relationship and it was
finding
because-
love.
Yes, because my parents.
Such a nerd.
Because
Oh
my
God.
parents were divorcing for 8 years. It wasn't exactly
Yes.
good environment.
Why did it take so long?
They were trying to beat the shit out of each other legally, so to speak. Just slow. It was like the World War I of divorces. There was just fucking artillery shells every day on both sides.
Then everyone used gas and went, ooh, too far.
Yeah, pretty much.
I went through it too with my child custody case, but we both ran out of money pretty quickly. So
That's what happened to them too, except it was when I was 18.
Also,
Yeah.
interesting fact: we found out that Atlas's parents' divorce lasted longer than the Confederacy. Something to
That's true.
Also, a valuable point.
Twice
Let me
as
bring
long
up
as the
another question
Confederacy.
for you guys. This will be a good
Yeah.
one. Do you think watching porn is good for your sex life or bad for your sex life?
I don't know.
You know,
don't know.
I'm on the
you
fence
have the
with this one.
scientific data.
Honestly, it's you know what? It's more so for myself where, so like I've heard this how chefs will go vegan for their palate to reset it, right? So in the same sense, like if you start jerking off to still pictures instead of video, I feel like it's a good thing to keep things under wraps because it's a very escalating thing. And there's been a lot of days where it's like people go down that rabbit hole and just all of a sudden they're jerking off to weird shit. And they're like, I don't know, right? So it's like,
Well,
hey,
to be honest,
you kinda
that's
have
what
to
I
just
noticed when I was watching porn, that it took more and more sort of
Each
weird
time.
shit or
Yeah.
extreme shit to really turn me on.
Yeah.
And so I stopped watching it probably about only 3 months ago, but
How's it going?
it's good. Like at first it was hard to
Yeah.
you know, because you
But-
want.
I bet it was. I bet it was very hard.
constantly, right?
But now I can, where before I couldn't even use my imagination anymore, you know,
Yeah.
where I
Oh.
needed the porn
Yeah.
to be able to jerk off. But now, like about a couple weeks into it, 3 weeks into it, I was able to start using my imagination again, which was a relief because I thought maybe I had kind of like what you said, Dino, like burned out that ability.
Yeah.
You know?
You might have caught it in time, man. It's listen, good on you. Good on you because like
And I feel better, man. And plus I
Yeah.
just feel mentally better.
oh
know?
There's a whole other thing about that. So may I ask, is that now when you use your imagination, are you finding it that you're using some of the things you remember seeing, or is it now new creative scenarios?
No, I honestly have been lucky enough to have had a lot of sex. So I
Also
think
good.
of scenarios that I've had,
Oh, okay. That's even better. Yeah.
past situations. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of luck, I would say, in that area.
No, I just love that. That's Cole signals as, hey, this might be boring for the audience. Pow! It just drops out a deuce, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fair. It's very no, but that's like, it's
Those are
weird,
backstrokes over the shoulder, by the way. Those are two different guys
like a gentleman.
behind me. You know,
That reminds me of the
a man on
Silicon
the
Valley thing where they try and figure out how long it would take to jerk off everybody in the room.
The parallel to match them up, and then you have
dick to floor or whatever the fuck it was.
variations.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
No, listen. See, this is the thing is, the more and more, as the older I get, the more and more I'm realizing that you're going like, I have a bad tendency, Jimmy, where as a fully fledged crazy person is I will go back and compare like current things with, when my parents were this age or when brothers were this age, when I was observing their behavior because I'm a weirdo like that. I like to observe things. I'm like, now I'm having those kind of thoughts as well. I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Now I'm like, hey, men really do not talk enough. Like, not at all. We definitely don't talk enough. We definitely don't read enough. That's I
talk too much. It makes people uncomfortable.
You definitely do. that is factual.
Speaking of which, to answer your question, Jimmy, the only time porn really ever to me that I like thought about it where it came up in my relationship was with my baby mama, probably 4 or 5 years ago. She had went through my search history and made this whole thing about how she wanted to try some of the shit that I was watching. And, I was like, listen,
How did
luckily
she,
you
was
didn't
she
even
able to see it? Control Shift N incognito mode. Come on, man.
I didn't, I do that now. I didn't then, like, I didn't think, like I had nothing to hide. Like I wasn't cheating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was just watching porn. I didn't think it was weird, I was just in me time. She went through it, made a whole big thing. Like there was this whole, I can't believe you're watching porn, blah, 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 whatever. But besides all that, once we got past that into the, let's try some of it. I'm like, you didn't even see the dark shit. Like most of this stuff that I watch porn just for like entertainment. Like I'm not even jerking off. Like,
I like the stories.
I have way too much. Still to this day, I hate her. I fucking have a raging despise for her at any given day, and I still have too much respect to do those things to her. What I watch, I would never. Yeah, no. So
what's gnarly shit?
Porn is not. It's not my relationship. You know what I mean? It's a different thing altogether.
Well, that's apparently young people are like, hey, that's what they do in porn, so we got to do that. And you're like, oh, that's
no,
no,
I don't. I don't even. I can't even do stuff like that. I'm not in that good of shape. My dick's not that big, Like I mean, it's like basketball. I can't do those things. I like watching it,
that we got to use. We got to use it.
I think Atlas froze up.
Nope. I heard it all.
Brain exploded.
I heard it all. I'm incredibly disappointed in him.
Oh, thanks for asking, Serge. Jimmy, I got rear-ended a couple weeks ago, and I'm still trying to recover. I'm, going to therapy massages. You're like, yeah, but so far so good. Just taking time. Anyways, what was the last thing we wanted to do? Jimmy, where can everyone follow you on the internets?
I am Jimmy Shin on TikTok and Twitter and IG.
Jimmy Shin.
I am
The
Jimmy
rapidly decomposing Twitter.
I am Jimmy Shin.
Rapidly decomposing Twitter. Oh God.
Yeah, you think a lot of people will leave?
A lot of
I
people
don't think there
already
are
have.
a lot of people there. It's all listen.
Yeah,
Do you honestly
yeah,
think
it's not a good platform for comedians at all anymore?
I'll be there.
Anymore? I really hope that there's some other place that's able to do that because I like just writing little one-liner things and stuff.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Atlas. You don't have to like the guy. We lived in a country with Donald Trump as our president for 4 years. We did fine. It's just Twitter. I promise you it'll be okay.
I
Just
mean, it's
talk your shit. Mind your business. You can talk shit to him. That's the greatest part about Twitter is you can tag celebrities that you have a legit.
Okay.
I've been talking shit about Kanye all week. Tagging him in them.
Kathy Griffin just got kicked off today because she was doing the thing where people are just putting Elon's picture as their thing and saying Elon must put the check because anybody can do it, and then just pretending they're him, and then she just kicked her off.
He doesn't want imposters or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, he wants a real platform with real people. What a nut job! Oh my God.
Well, I think parody is good for society.
No, but this is the thing. Okay?
Yes.
Is people are just watching you do something, going, oh, okay, I want to do that. So I'm going to play your audio and then pretend to do it to the camera, and then I'm going to give you what? That's not
TikTok,
even trying. Yeah. You're not even trying. You're pretending. You're less than improv.
I mean, they're mostly just doing it to troll him because he really wants to be cool, and he's not. And
listen, he went from bald to full head of hair. He's cool in my books. That guy's a fucking genius. He's definitely a wizard.
He got hair implants, you idiot. It's
just rich.
He didn't grow it back on force of will.
The richest.
Yeah.
Listen, there are a lot of bald rich people. Okay, that's why he's definitely a wizard. Okay,
just do the tattoo thing, Dino. Just whatever the fuck.
Can you imagine how bad I fucking love
hair plucks? That's what you're thinking of.
Oh yeah,
that's what he got. Yeah,
great idea.
Was it? They call it botulism or something like that.
No,
Botox.
Oh my
God, no.
Something like that. I don't know.
Fantastic. Let's go with our last question.
Yeah, we got one more question for Jimmy, and then we'll log off here. So, being that you're a comedian, what is the most memorable set you've had? Good, bad, weird, otherwise?
I would say one of my most memorable is I had never invited my mom and dad to a show before. And I'd already been doing stand-up for 12 years. And my parents wanted me to be a lawyer. And I went to law school. And I disappointed them a lot when I got busted selling weed while I was going to law school.
Damn.
And it was a felony back then.
Oh.
Damn.
Yeah, getting caught with the happy smoke kind of ruins the law degree.
Exactly.
What state are you in?
Told me not to do the happy smoke because then I went to the happy smoke and started selling it. Because we are.
Well, I didn't smoke it. I just sold it, Dad.
So I finally invited them. I didn't know if I wanted to invite them when I had a show in my hometown, but a friend of mine's mom had died, and she said she would give anything to hear her mom nag at her one more time. And so I was like, you know what? I don't want to have any regrets. I want my parents to see what I do and see who I am, right? So I invited them. They bring 10 people.
Oh my God.
None of them spoke English. Later on, I found out that they brought them because they thought nobody else would be there. And on the night of the show, it was a sold-out show. And during my set, my dad stood up in front of hundreds of people and started filming my set.
Oh, shit.
And the security told him to stop because you're not supposed to film, as you guys know, at a comedy's place. But they didn't kick him out because he's my dad. They knew he was my dad. But he kept filming. And what I realized is he was that proud of me.
Yeah.
And later on, he probably showed that video to his 10 friends that didn't even understand it the first time.
For sure. That's awesome.
He just gets on stage and yells at people?
But then he finally figured out Facebook. And now he's like my #1 fan. And he writes,
is he really?
Yeah, you are #1 comedian in the world. Very handsome man, right?
So awesome.
Bro,
That's
awesome.
amazing.
But I delete it because it's embarrassing. He writes the same shit every day.
Yeah.
But I
He's
thumbs
got a
up
copy
first.
pasta or something.
Yeah. I thumbs up at first, so he
Of
gets
course.
that notification because
Absolutely.
he hasn't figured out how to get on my profile yet.
That's smart. That's a good one. Yeah.
But it was the time they knew actually that I wasn't a real estate agent in LA.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That is so unexpectedly pure. I love that.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, having a dad sounds awesome.
Yeah, we needed some purity after this session we've had. So
Well, yeah.
there's some hope for you guys.
Oh, oh my god.
Little, very little.
All right.
Anyways.
Well, you can find us at Generation Dan on Twitter or Generation_Dan on Instagram. You can find me at Atlas Novak on Twitter or Instagram, or follow my other podcast at Nexus at Night in those same places. That's about a trading card game called Card Fight Vanguard. Yeah. How
That
about the
I
rest
found
of
out about this week.
God damn.
It took me a long time to figure it out.
Oh, I'm Dino the Genetic Marvel. Follow me, Google me. If you're not going to Google me, we're not going to get along. Let's be honest. It's very simple.
He Googles himself
All the time.
for sure.
Oh yeah, how do you every
Is today? Is today the day that I blow up on the internet?
You say, like, having a dad sounds awesome. And I was just like, oh, God damn it. It's going to be weird.
I knew what I was doing.
I know, but still. Anyways,
I have a
that's been
stepdad who like sold a car for drugs. That's an even better story.
it's
And
so
like we're
not-
all gonna have Thanksgiving together soon. It's gonna be dope.
Oh my god! Thanksgiving because like our shows drop.
I'll be there.
We got to do a
Oh, he
Thanksgiving
sold my
Holy
mom's
shit.
car and then crashed mine within a week too. By the
Oh
way,
my god!
Bro! All right, we got more to talk about. We
Yeah.
will see you
Find
guys
him at
later.
find him at Sniff and Glue 22 on all the stuff.
You can't get away from it. Bye, everyone.
Bye everyone.